Herb Conning was a world-renowned historian and artist who I'd had the great opportunity to work with on several projects over the past 3 years. That morning I learned that my good friend had passed away. I was told by our guide that there were only 2 places I should go for coffee, the Hobnail Cafe and Café Navive. Since Café Navive was closed, it made the decision easy. Around 1 o'clock, I caught the bus that would take me the 5 hours north to Greymouth. I chose to stop in Greymouth only to break up the 10-hour bus ride to Nelson. Half an hour after departure, we arrived at Franz Josef, another glacier for adventure seekers. We picked up a few more passengers here before moving on. A man from Manchester, England got on the bus there. He'd been backpacking in New Zealand for 6 months. In his opinion, the only reason New Zealand was so wild and unspoiled were the sandflies. I'd had the misfortune to encounter several of these nasty creatures already. Despite their small size, their bite hurts, and second, the bite then itches for several days. The misnomer is that they don't just live in the sand, but they are everywhere. It's one of those things about New Zealand you'll have to expect if you don't plan to see the country in a level 4 hazmat suit. I stayed at another YHA. Unlike the one in Queenstown, this hostel looked like an old converted house rather than built for the purpose. There were only a few travelers besides myself staying there. It was quite comfortable and I couldn't find any complaints. The man from Manchester told me the only thing to see in Greymouth was the brewery. I arrived very late in the day but just managed to make the last tour. Only covered shoes are allowed on the factory floor. The tour guide told us about the history of the brewery. The most interesting thing was that it had changed names 5 times since its inception. He then took us into the factory and explained the time-honored tradition of turning barley, hops, and water into beer. The machines had been turned off this late in the day, so we didn't get a chance to see any of the process or the bottling. But nobody on the tour really cared. All everyone wanted was to get to the tasting part. Some of the beers were very interesting, tasting strongly of lime and another of ginger. My favorites were the Golden Lager and the Black. At the end, we were all allowed to have 1 full glass of our choice.